Hey, what's up, guys? This is Papi back again from the Cyber Frogs over here, Tap Trade FinTech. We're going to be looking over some of the plays that we did last week, doing a little bit of an update on the plays we did, and just seeing how the markets are kind of reacting. We've had a lot of a lot of info these last couple of weeks with the markets, a lot of info with kind of what's going on with the president. We got other nations, so there's definitely a trade war happening right now. So stocks are definitely reacting very volatilely and I guess you'd say very emotionally. Volatilely. I don't even know if that's a word, but very volatile. So we're going to take a look. Obviously, we're going to be using Thor as the main tool here to build the foundation of these plays. And we're just going to go ahead. Last week, we jumped into a couple plays here. We set some orders, some triggered, some didn't. So we're just going to check to see what the updates are. We did INTC, which is Intel. We did some Shopify. We did some Kava, Coca-Cola. We did some Coinbase and some Nike. So we're very much spread out on this, I guess you could say, on the spectrum here when it comes to the sectors. We have a little bit of retail, food. We have some crypto, as well as some tech. So, I mean, we're a little bit everywhere. But this is good. This is part of the, diversifying a portfolio. It's good to not put all your eggs in one basket. So in this instance, I'm going to trade what I like. This is the stuff that I like. And I'm also choosing stuff that's in that range of around anywhere from, I mean, an exception to Coinbase being at around 259 at the current price right now. But everything is roughly sitting at about $100 or less. And the reason why I'm choosing kind of these coins or I'm sorry, these tickers that are more lower end, if you would say, they're not as big as like Tesla or Amazon, is mainly because we want to look for these spreads. We feel like, I personally feel like these coins, or these, I keep saying coins, I apologize, these tickers are very much staples kind of in their sectors. And so I want to definitely kind of take advantage of that. Neither one of them are going to go anywhere for that matter. To me, it's about building upon just buying the dips. And as anything, right, we are buying low and we are selling high. That is the main gist of how, kind of like the whole journey here, right? The goal is to make money. And so right now we have been just kind of focusing on just upward momentum and then really just looking for those windows. We see a window and we take it. So, yeah, without a doubt, grab a beer, grab some coffee. I'm gonna take a little swig here. But yeah, let's jump into it. As always, this is the interface that we have here. Our investing portfolio is at $1,000 even. And so we're up 84 bucks just based on some momentum that we had past couple week. And so yeah, we're just kind of playing it by ear right now. Not much, but looks like we have one that we fired off from last week, which was the Intel plays. We bought 5 shares of those during after hours, if I'm not mistaken. And so those are sitting nice at $20.60 with a 2.69% increase from where we bought. So we're going to just take a look down the line and then, yeah, let's just get right into it. So first and foremost, Tap Trading Services is powered by Thor, which is an online trading suite that is home and built to the founders of Tap Trading. So it's a really, really cool tool. I've been using it for 4+ years now. Very successful in not only crypto, but stocks and Forex as well. So it does all three things. Just a basic run of it. Obviously, this is going to be the main page. We go to Tap Trading IO, and I might as well just show you guys what it looks like from the main page when you log in. We have the Tap Trading platform, catch your next trades, some cool information on it. So we're going to go up here to Thor, right? The vaults are a different story, and that's a different video. If you have more information or want more information on those, please seek into the Discord or ask away. We do a full in-depth kind of review and kind of overview of the vaults and how they work. And what that means for you as a user. Essentially, this is the set and forget mentality right here for the vaults. So we are going to go to the other side of the coin, which is going to be the manual side, because we ourselves are controlling our portfolios in this sense. So we're going to go to Thor itself, and obviously Thor and Thor Pro are for the tickers and for if you are a holder of the project. But for the majority of people, 99% of them will go over here to Ask Thor, because this is what we're going to do. We are going to ask Thor, essentially, We're gonna ask it for the math. We're gonna see what the math is doing and if the math is math. And so I've already preloaded all of the coins and all the coins. I'm sorry, the tickers that we are going to be looking at. I keep saying coins because I come from a crypto background. Obviously, I did stocks in the beginning as well, but I moved over to crypto where I learned most of my kind of skills in that sense. So everything, I apologize, but I'm switching the coin for token and the token to ticker. So, anyways, yeah, so let's get started. So here we have our crypto pairs, but we're not worried about this right now. We're going to be worried on these guys right here because I've been calling. I put the orders in ahead of time. It takes about 2 minutes for them to kind of kick in. And you'll put it in here. So if we're looking for anything like Tesla, we'll go ahead, put in TSLA, the ticker. We'll find it on this little drop down, Tesla, and then we'll go ahead and ask Thor for it. It'll prompt us, and then we'll pay the TAP, which is the in-house token for the Thor operating system, or we can pay in USDC for obviously a fee. I have a small discount because I am a holder, early investor into this project, so that's why the $1.50 will not be reflected on everybody. Obviously, the more invested you are, the more of a discount you get, but that's a different discussion for a different time. So for now, I've already preloaded everything, so we are just going to go down the line. INTC's first one up, so I'm going to go ahead and check out to see what calls or what plays are on INTC. We're going to click on it just so we don't do what we did last week and accidentally purchase the wrong thing on accident. But we live and we learn, don't we? So buy INTC, sell INTC. Cool. So let's take a look at it right here. INTC right now, it's sitting at $20.63. Just a quick scan. Looks like we got a couple calls on the 1 hour and the 1 day. That's what these asterisks essentially mean when you see it. Right now, it's not going to show any data until we click one of these, right? 15 minutes is not showing me much data, so we're going to zoom out. Eagle view here, and zoom out, and we have a couple plays here. We have Intel coming in at, looks like we have some shorts on the day call, and then we're going to look at the 1 hour calls, and we're going to see we have some longs at this level. It looks like we have some at $19.69 ish, 70 cents. And then we have some at $19.16 to 15 cents. So we have a range to buy here. And essentially that's how you would go ahead and read Thor in this instance, right? If we're looking at INTC, I want to first and foremost, I want to always zoom out, right? Let's get the eagle view. Standard practice is to always go from outside in, never inside out. Why? Because we want to get a view of what the map is to begin with. If you want to put it in Leon's terms, we're looking at the map and then we're going closer to look at the village if it allows us to. So in this case, the village is here and the map is here. So let's just see what on the grand scheme of things Thor is saying. Thor is backed by crap ton of quantum math and stuff that I don't understand. But it does work. It's all at the end of the day based on math, and it reads the charts, takes account, we have order books, a whole bunch of stuff. Stuff that usually would take 15, 20, 30 minutes for an advanced trader to kind of look at. Thor does it in a mere seconds. Why? Because it's AI and it has that capability and that power. So we utilize it, right? This is just going to help us build the foundation and build the house that we're trying to build a little bit quicker. By no means are we compromising quality or overlooking anything, right? Thor is doing everything, on a math basis. So we're going to go ahead and just base all these plays and foundation on a mathematical perspective, and we'll see how this works out. So let's see. So we have shorts here, INTC coming in at 1 day, 1 hour. So 1 hour, 1 day, we're going to go in. We're going to see we have some shorts coming in. And from last week, it looks like it's still the same. We're looking at $25.94 to $25 even. We have $26.68 to $26.42. So we have two ranges here where we're looking to essentially, it looks like it's going to be a pretty heavy drop. We got 11% drop on the first one and 11% on the second one. So this is telling me that right here, once we enter this zone, we're definitely going to see a little bit of a pullback, most likely, right? Nothing is definitive, as always, I want to say, and put the disclaimer out there. None of this is financial advice. Please do your own research. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just literally a guy here drinking coffee and explaining to you guys essentially how I read Thor. This is just personal preference, and this is essentially just for fun. So we're going to check this out, and we're going to see that we have 25, 26, and 26.7. Okay, so we're looking at like a 25 to 26.5 range is where we want to exit this. So currently we have 5 shares that we've purchased as of last time, and we have it right here. We have 5 shares of INTC, right? Oh, wow, cool. 5 shares right here. So we got 5 shares at $19.72 was the average cost. So we're going to look to kind of exit these guys at this 25 to 26 range. So as of last week, I kind of put in the margins already for the limit sells. So I placed them ahead of time because this is the way I like to trade. I don't like to complicate it, especially if we're updating these charts once a week. We want to 100% make sure that we are setting our stop losses. In that sense, we are setting our buys and our exits, but we want to do everything kind of ahead of time because we don't want to, things get rough, right? Sometimes throughout the week, or some people get busy, or life just happens. So I want to make sure that when I sit down and do this, I do it essentially the right way and the proper way. So that way we don't get burned later on. It's, oh, I forgot to put this, or I forgot to put an exit on this, and now I'm writing this down to a lower entry. The last thing we want to do is lose money here. That's not the goal. The goal is to be in the green, and we try to get as much of our wins as possible in the green, right? That's the whole purpose of it. Nobody likes to lose money. So let's play this smart. We got 5 shares at 1972, so we're going to go into 25.26. Looks like I have some orders placed here. Intel limit sell. I have some looks like limit price at $26 is where I have it for sale, which is 26 would be the first kind of range in between these two. And that is for selling one. So I'm selling one at $26, and then I'm going to go ahead and sell the other 4 at $25, right? Because I'm going to try to kind of front run this play. So essentially how I'm doing this is I'm going to offload 4 of them here, and I'm going to offload 1 here. Why am I doing it this way? Different strategies to different ways of playing everything. But for me, myself, I like to at least secure 80% of the bag at the first one. So when the first take profit, well, if we get to that price range, then I'm going to just offload on here, right? Because I know we're going to come back down to 22.88. What I don't want to do is round trip this, right? If the price goes up and starts shooting up to, let's say, this 25 range, I want to get out here because, right, time is money at the same time, and you don't want to leave something in for too long that doesn't need to be, if that makes sense. So for me, I'm very I think these plays are going to play out for myself, and so I'm going to go ahead and offload 4 here, so at least I can capture that liquidity, right? I can get immediate gratification, and like I said, entry points are at 1972. So if we go over here and we just do the ruler, so we go 1972, 1973, okay, all the way up, and we just do to the beginning of the 25, right? So from 1973 to 25, which is very close to about where we're at, this is 1972 to $25, we're looking at 26% gain right here. 26% gain is really, really good. Now, it might be a while till we see these all-time highs. This might not play out immediately. Obviously, we've been holding this place for a week and still nothing, right? So it's okay. This is the long game, but this is the beauty of playing spot plays in this way. When you're doing stocks and stuff, we're not looking for those immediate moons or anything. We're really just looking for constant, steady gains and stuff that makes sense, essentially on a mathematical and technical perspective. We are not rushing things, right? So it's very similar. Like I say, it's like a fart, right? We don't want to force a fart because then it becomes poop, right? So that's kind of the sense of this. And I really try not to overcomplicate things in general. So 26% gain, I'm not going to get too greedy. I'm going to take this. So that's why I front run it a little bit. And what that means is I'm just, instead of waiting for this exact price to hit, which is $25.08, I'm just going to hit $25. I'm happy it's in and it's good to go. That's why I'm offloading 4 here. And at the off chance that we go a little bit higher, I'm able to offload it at $26, right? And that one little dollar may not mean much, but it's the tiny little wins that for me psychologically they start stacking up to me mentally. So I want to be there. I want to be able to be like, it might not be much, but it kind of adds up, and to me it makes me feel a little bit good. Could this hit 25 and then obviously ricochet back down to 22? Yes, of course, 100% it could. But at least I have the sense that I've offloaded 80% of my bag to begin with, and I'm holding the other 10% for just in case it goes higher, right? We can look at this next week. It could hit the trigger, miss the second one, but that's okay, because if it pulls back, I'm able to look back and kind of reanalyze kind of this whole section and say, hey, is there a new call that just showed up, or is there something new that popped up that might be a little bit higher, or based on the data something could change, or maybe I just want to take profits and exit then, right? Anything above $19.72 is still a win. It doesn't matter if it's 1%, 10%, or 25%. A win is a win. So we want to secure all those wins as we just as consistent as possible in that sense. Anything above here is obviously a win. So at the very least, I could sell it for $22, right? So if we come down to 22.88, I could at least sell it for $22 and make what? 19, what is that? 10%? Maybe 10% gains. I'm happy with that. 22%, yeah, 10%, 8% gains. I'll be happy with that. Let's take it. So, in that sense, yeah, we have these from last week, so we're going to leave it as it is, right? We did talk about zooming in a little bit on the 1 hour. If I wanted to go in, and now this is how you would properly play Thor, right? There's different strategies of playing it, like I mentioned last week. This week, right here on the 1 day, we're waiting for this to play out, right? This could not happen because it hasn't happened yet, right? The way Thor works is when the price gets into the range of something, it's a higher there's a higher probability that it's going to play out, right? A higher than 50% chance it's going to play out in your favor. Now, Thor, the statistics on Thor are kind of a little bit they jump between, I guess, like 78 to roughly around like 60% ratio wins, right? So it's very, very good odds in your favor. But in that sense, we also want to play this as safe as possible. What I'm doing right now is I'm what's called front running a play. The play hasn't happened, but I'm anticipating it's going to hit this just based on the fact that I myself really like Intel, and I don't think Intel is going to go anywhere. It's a chip manufacturing company, direct competitor with NVIDIA, and who knows, they can come out with some more information and possibly shoot the price up a little bit. We can see the price has dropped exponentially from up here. Used to be at what, $48? Let's see, a little higher than $48. It's not too out of the question for it to pump from $20 to $24 and maybe even keep continuing down or create an uptrend at this point. But you can see here, I mean, $36 is another range. I mean, the price has been up there. Regardless of how long it takes to get up here, that's a different question, but we're at least prepared for both scenarios. So in this case, I'm very happy at buying at this price at about $20. It doesn't seem to lose any traction at below $18, so it's pretty safe, right? I feel like in this sense, $18 to $20 is a good range to purchase this and then offload at anything above, like I said. So we're going to see how this goes. We're going to see how the markets move. But for now, I'm happy with this position. If we zoom in on the 1 hour, it wants us to buy a little bit lower in this sense. So it's just telling us that if the price shoots down to about $19.70, $19.70 or $19.16, it'd be a good time to pick up a little bit more Intel because these are good ranges for it to pump. Obviously, the TP1s are not as juicy as the shorts from the 1 day, but keep in mind, the 1 day plays are going to take longer to play out because they're on 1 day candles themselves. So each candle takes 1 day to form, which means that a 1 day play might take a couple weeks, to be honest with you, to play out. It could take a while, right? But that's why those are long-term plays. When we look at 1 hour plays, each one of these candles is 1 hour. So this could right here, I mean, you take 24 candles, that's 1 day. A lot could happen in 1 day in 24 candles, as you can see. So in this case, we're looking to purchase these on the short term. This would be good entry zones to purchase if you haven't gotten in. But like I said, this is not financial advice. This is just if you're going to do things, this is the way that I'd recommend, just based on the math. And you don't have to buy something at this price either. If you feel like this is something that might be a little bit too expensive, you want to get a better price, you can put orders here to buy some here at 19.70 and then 19.16. Obviously, you're free to do, what you think is best in that sense, but for the mathematical perspective, these are our lines and levels of resistances where we can definitely see some action here. We can definitely see bounces, and it's much more likely that we're going to have some kind of reaction to the action that's happening right now. So good spots to buy here, but I've already got 5 shares. I don't want to over leverage. I do have roughly, if we go back into the portfolio here, I do have roughly about $200 left in buying power. So I could set maybe an order, maybe two stocks here and 2 stocks here to purchase like 2 shares. I could try that. It's another way to do it, but I also won't put too many eggs in one basket, if that makes sense. But we'll see. I might change my mind down the road, but I'm pretty happy with 5 shares right now. I feel pretty diversified in this sense. So just having all this information in mind, I'm happy with this Intel play. It's going great and cool. Let's move on to the next one, Shopify. Shopify is going to be the next one that we're going to be looking at. Obviously big with retail, with the tariffs, has a huge impact on the stocks. So this is a good one to look at as well. Obviously, Shopify is at $108.70, I apologize, as of today. And today is June 9th. I forgot to mention the date today, but when this was recorded, we are down 3.72% from the initial buy, but that's okay. We're going to see what happens. We have a buy order that was placed here at $73 even. So there's actually no shares bought for Spotify. The only share that we've bought right now is just Intel from last week. The other ones that we were going to be looking at, we have not bought any. But let's just review this because I want to see if anything changed in the data, or if it's a good time to buy now, or if it's something that I should readjust the plan to make sure it's good for the following week, right? What happened a week ago isn't, conducive to this week, right? It's like the price, right? Yet today's price is not yesterday's price. It's not tomorrow's price either. So everything changes, so we have to adapt with it. This is why these weekly plays are nice to kind of catch up and see where the markets are overall compared to the week before, and we can start comparing and contrasting and seeing how things are. So let's take a look at it. We're going to look at Shopify. Are there any plays on Shopify? We have a 1 day and a 4 hour. We always start with the 1 day, start with the Eagle. What do we got? We got a short coming up at 116, 115. Yeah, 115 with 54 cents and 116 with 35 cents. So these are shorts right now. I don't have any shares. So these would be a good time to offload them. Why? Because it looks like we might come down to 110 or even 98 based on how high we go or where we hit. So this is looking a little bit more bearish. If we're just doing some standard, I'm observing this and looking just at the TA. And let's say I go down to the entry point here. This is still on the downtrend. I could see it hitting this price. I mean, even up here, you could hit this price right here, up here, maybe not fully break through this trend and then go back down here. And now we're starting the trend downwards. Now, we are on an uptrend right here, right? Safe to say we're on an uptrend. So now we have a little bit of a triangle. We have some decisions to make here. Either we're going to hit this range right here, and we're going to reject downwards and fall. Essentially, this is how it would be painted. Going to reject up and then go down here, and then obviously the price would dump. Or we are going to see the price hit up here, go down momentarily, fake everybody out, and then the price rips up, right? Different scenarios, but there has to be a decision being made here pretty soon. This is just my personal speculation, but an action is going to happen in the next couple days here. And being on the 1 day chart, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe next week we'll see some kind of action or breakthrough, either a break up or break down on the structure of this. So this is just looking at it from an eagle-eye perspective. But this is a pretty big play right here. If it goes to 116, we're dropping all the way down to $98 for a 15% loss. That's pretty huge right here. So this I am not ignoring at all. I want to make sure that I don't buy, and if I do buy Shopify at this price of 108, I want to make sure that I exit before the 116s, because this seems like a big resistance zone, and all it takes is a good bear push to push this down and then to send us back down to the 98s. Obviously, this could not happen if the bulls are hard enough, but in that sense of things, Thor is very accurate when it comes to the math side of things. And everything. So for that aspect, I am trusting in the fact that the math is telling me that there's a huge resistance right here, a huge block right here. This is the Game of Thrones ice wall right here. And unless you got an ice dragon, we are not getting through that. But it is possible. It's not impossible. It is possible. So just keep that in mind. Now we have, so I haven't bought any Shopify. Do I want to buy any? Well, let's look at the short term. Let's look at the 4 hour where there's more plays. And I want to see if there's any opportunities to buy. Now, obviously, we're in the bull right now, so things are kind of rising up with the tariffs. Shopify is doing pretty good when it comes to retail. Unless we get more kind of news or something that can nuke us, then that'd be a little bit more troublesome. But just based on the structures here, I'm looking at kind of a downtrend. I can see this dumping a little bit more before going up. A buy here at 77 would not be bad, which is why we have this limit price of 73. Now, do we want to kind of update this if you want to? So the new looks like the 73 is no longer there from last week, right? So we are going to have to do an adjustment. I want to purchase this, but I don't want to purchase it at this price. 109 is too expensive for me. I want to buy this at $78 because I'm looking at to go back up to the 90s and possibly, higher than 100s. That'd be great. So I have 2 orders to buy here. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and cancel this order because I don't want it right now. I really don't need it. I think 73 is a little too far down, so I'm going to go ahead and respect it here. And 78.26, I like this. I'm going to take it. So we're going to jump in here, and now we're going to see how we properly use Thor in the sense to where it's meant to be. Obviously, there's no wrong way to use anything. It's all based on your experience, comfort level, and just confidence as a trader as well. I've been doing it for 4+ years and using this tool, so I've gotten pretty. I would say I got a good grasp on how it works. Obviously, I'm not a professional, but as the dev himself or the guys that use this on the regular, like the founder and stuff like that. But I am very comfortable in the sense to where I feel I've got a good grasp on how to use this tool, right? So this is how I interpret it myself. 77 or 78.26 is going to be the first range that we looking to buy. So buy shop. I want to buy this at let's see. Let's do a limit order because I want to buy this, right? Limit order, I want to buy it at 78.26. That's a great place to buy. Obviously 78 to 77.1. So you know what? Let's just buy it at 78 bucks. Let me just make it easy. Let me just do 78 bucks. We had 2 shares last time, so I'm just gonna respect it as well. Market hours, extended hours, 24-hour marks. We just do market hours. Yeah, market hours are fine. Expires, obviously I don't want it to expire in one day because this might not take. We're just going to do it till 90 days from today, and if we need to adjust it, we'll change it, cancel it just like we did. So we're going to review the order. Just make sure limit order 78 bucks. We're getting it in between 78.26 and 77.18. 2 shares like we had last time. Market hours is fine. You could choose to do 24-hour market from 5 p.m. It's totally up to you. I think I'm okay with just market hours. Review order. Yep, I like this. It's on the individual account. There's my buying power. Yep, I have enough. Review order. And we're going to go ahead and purchase this. Perfect. So now we're queued up and we're good to go. 78 bucks. Was 73. Now it's 78. Beautiful. So we're all set on Shopify itself. I like this price. I like this plan. And this is our plan itself. We're trading the plan, right? Our plan is to buy this down here at 78. And then once we trigger it, we're going to look to exit at this range. We're going to do, and I'm actually going to screenshot this. Let me go up here just so I know exactly what I'm looking at. Oop. We're going to screenshot this entire section right here. This is our Shopify play. We're going to come back next week and we're going to kind of review all this stuff and see, if anything changed. And the reason why I'm choosing Shopify over Intel is because we bought Intel. So we already have the range we're going to exit. I'm keeping this for my records myself because once we hit this price, I want to make sure that I have it on hand so I can easily set the sell zone, which would be $90 or 91.39 would be my first sell. And obviously the next TPs would be 95 and 99. 16% gain is minimum, but I always take the first TP one because I don't want to be greedy. Yes, it could go higher than $100, which is what I hope it is, but I'm perfectly happy here. I like playing this game right here at this range. It's a good price, 16% gains. I'm more than happy with that, so I'm going to take it. And then, yeah, so essentially this would be our zones right here. So let's look at the next one. Obviously, we finished up with Shopify, so that's good to go. We're going to come back on that one next week. Kava. Kava is like the Chipotle or Qdoba of the Southwest, if I'm not mistaken. So it's a big chain. Build your own burritos. It's getting pretty big. So it seems to be a little bit more when it comes to organic foods and stuff like that. So they've taken more the naturalistic approach when it comes to the food itself. So yeah, it's a good opportunity to buy. Why not? Qdoba and Chipotle both have their respective stocks, and they're definitely high up in there. So Kava could definitely reach a higher price than $80. Why not? It is it's in the restaurant business, so there's nothing to overlook. Kava could have a really good run here, good marketing, and it could just blow up. So remember, we always want to look at the best opportune places to buy, and we also want to look at stuff that's kind of trending in that sense. We want to look at stuff that's not boring and stuff that people are kind of looking at, right? Because momentum and kind of attention currency builds that volatility when it comes to stocks too. So we'll see. Let's check it out. We have Kava here. I'm gonna go see what we got here. Ooh, we got some 4 hours and some 1 hour plays. So 4 hour play for Kava. I'm gonna go in. Looks like we have some buys coming up here. So Kava looks like I have a limit buy at 75.10. Which is perfect. Looks like it's right here, 75.16 to 73.84. So it looks like we already got this from last week. This is perfect. This is on the money right here, and I want to keep this like it is. I don't want to change any part of this. I'm very, very happy. Did anything change here in the 1 hour? Let's take a look. We're going to zoom in a little bit more on these candles. And yep, here's our looks like could be some really good exit zones here if we hit these zones. Obviously, they're invalidated at 78. If the price reaches 78.04, then they're a no-go. So if we go back to the 4 hour, 78.04, yeah, so right now we're getting pretty close to the invalidation zones for those shorts. So this is good. We're climbing down to Kava. We're going to buy in this range and we're going to sell at 85.22. So 85.22 is going to be up here, 85.22. Perfect, which will kind of line up if it kind of see, you guys can kind of see right here. It'll line up in this section, which would be it'd be a good way for it to drop the price all the way down and then kind of have like a little reverb up here. And then from here, it'll make a decision. Either the price will essentially, oops, I apologize. Let me go down. Obviously, the price can go down here, and then from here, skyrocket up here. Once we get up to here, we'll either test this zone, and this will be a crucial spot where we will either reject downwards or we will go upwards to the heavens themselves. So it's a good spot to buy. It's a good plan to play, so I like it. I'm still very bullish on this, and so I'm going to keep it. No changes here on Kava. Going to go back again, and we are going to look at Coca-Cola. Good old American drink. KO, because it'll knock you out, especially your kidneys, but here we are. We invest on lots of things over here. Cool. So we got the Droga Cola here, 71.80. Let's see, what do we got last time? Last time we placed an order to buy at $60.90. So Coca-Cola, we have a couple plays here on the 1 day, so I want to always zoom out first. And let's see, what was I thinking last week? Was I on the money? It looks like I am. 60.90. 60.90. Yep, same play. Nothing has changed here. Obviously, you're going to start seeing kind of a pattern here when it comes to the day plays. The day plays themselves are going to be pretty consistent across the board when it comes to not going anywhere for a long period of time. You could see a 1 day call be here is months early before the action actually happens. But that is mainly because these are long-term plays, so there has to be time to unfold, which means that even when it catches a play, it might be some time for that play to hit. So patience is everything here, and that's why weekly updates are beautiful when it comes to this type of trading. So $60.90, I love it. I'm going to buy it here, and I'm going to look to sell for a 7.26% gain. Coca-Cola is a huge, huge, huge company. It has a lot of mergers that are happening with like new soft drinks and stuff like that. They're buying a lot of stuff. They're big titans in the world, right? They're definitely I prefer trading Coca-Cola over Pepsi just because of the fact that this is the titan, right? You can buy all the cryptos very similar to Bitcoin and Ethereum, but if you're going to hold a asset in this range, you might want to hold the big dog, which in this case is Coca-Cola. Excuse me, in crypto, it would be Bitcoin. So you got to kind of like pick your poison. You can't buy everything and you can't purchase everything, so you might as well just pick your favorite stuff. Personally, I like Coca-Cola taste better than Pepsi. Shoot me if you want to, but here we are. Plus a Jack and Coke, come on, that hits beautifully on a Friday night. I'm very bullish on Coca-Cola, very nice. So I'm happy with this trade. We're gonna go off on the next one. We're going to check out Coinbase now. Coinbase is the crypto sector. It's very much had a really nice run these past 3 months, going from 151 at its lowest peak to 250 to the year. Year's had a very good year. 151 to 250 to like these swings are insane. Like you're going from $300 to 150, which is less than 50%. So it's a 50% drop here to back to almost what, a 40%, 50. Yeah, I mean, we're getting pretty close. It's like a 40% gain right here. So, I mean, Coinbase is very, very volatile. Obviously, it's very prone to kind of, the crypto sector being so new, being the ninth sector now. There's so many more things coming out, more integrations, adaptability, retail is coming in. We have big eyes on it. So this is a very good one. And this is one of those stocks right now that is the biggest one that I'm currently playing with, especially with you guys here. But I do have conviction in the fact that this is a new sector. So it's something that really can't be overlooked, right? Is 250 overbought for Coinbase? It could be, but it couldn't be, depending on kind of where this sector lies. Because it is the Wild West, we don't know if 250 is a low price or a high price. But we don't have to essentially hold this forever. If you don't choose to, we could always trade this, and that's what Thor is for. We're going to figure out if this is a too high or too low place to buy. And we're going to start with the 1 day. 1 day is going to tell us that, yep, looks like it's overextended by quite a bit. Now, oops, I'm sorry. Let me switch over to, once again, let me not confuse myself, Coinbase. There we go. Yeah, and let's just check it out. 1 day Coinbase. I'm gonna check out the price and see. Obviously, there's two plays right here. There's a 4 hour and a 1 day. It is a little overbought in that sense, to where the markets think they have to correct and consolidate. Currently, right off the rip, you can see a little bit of a downtrend here happening, right? So we can see that it's been pushing this price, but it is slowly going down. So we can see kind of a rejection here, or if we break this trend, we can see kind of like a little pump going forward up. We don't have much information other than this, but I mean, this is kind of where the sense is, right? All we're doing is just looking at the math and relations and kind of like the trends and seeing if it makes sense to purchase now. But right now, what it's telling me is that we are very much on a downtrend. The support of the 138 is going to be very, very, very crucial for this. We might not even get a 69.23 price for Coinbase, right? It seems very, very far fetched right now. But do I want to buy it right now? Not really. I really don't want to buy this at this price. I feel like it's too risky. If I was doing options trading, that's a different story. But I'm right now, for the sake of this, we're just doing spot. So let's zoom in. Maybe there's a play inwards that can. Looks like on the 4 hour chart, there's something at 182.46. I have some orders that I placed from last week, and we have it here. 69. So I did put the order in for 69 bucks. It's very, very, very far off. This seems a little bit more likely to play if we do go downwards. So it wouldn't be a bad idea to kind of take this play either. I actually think I'm going to do kind of a swap here. I'm going to cancel this order. So we bought two of these at 69 bucks. Let's cancel it, because realistically, from 250 to 69, we'd have to have some kind of crazy mainframe or defunding of some kind of something crazy would have to happen for it to drop that harshly, and it would have to make so much news out there to where it would. I confidently would say it would probably break Coinbase. We could probably see the price hit during a bear market itself, but for right now purposes, I don't think we're going to see it that soon. But it was fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a limit order here, and we're going to purchase one at I like this 182.46. 182.46. Oops. Got a typo in the wrong place. 182.46. So, perfect. So 182.46 cents. Yeah, I like that price. It's a little bit better. I have 335 of buying power available, so I'm just going to purchase one. Just one share for now. Obviously, I can purchase two, and I would still be in the zone, because I'm looking at 250. That would put all my eggs. That would put me roughly about $100 left of buying power. So you know what? Let's do it just for the sake of this. I mean, I have $1,000, so 25% of the portfolio roughly is going into this play. That might be a little too risky in case Coinbase doesn't, but I want to at least have something. So let me just purchase one. We're gonna do market hours. Is fine, and we're gonna do obviously the 90 days out. Limit prices here, order. Okay, cool. So I have everything in process. We're going to go ahead and purchase this. Beautiful. We have our new one at 182.46, 182.46 coming in here. And then I'm going to go ahead and screenshot this for just myself. We are going to make sure that we don't lose this information. Thor does reset after 48 hours of using a call, so keep that in mind. Unless you go ahead and purchase the 30-day subscription, that is another way of doing it. Ask Thor packages are also here with 10 calls, 50 calls, or 100 calls. You can buy in bulk. Personally, I really love the 100 calls because it saves me the most amount of money, and then I don't have to worry about it, right? You can see me running through quite a bit of calls. The amount of calls I have right now is 7 left. So obviously I'm running through a couple of them, but this is just the name of the game, right? I'd rather use Thor, pay the little fee that it is, which is about $1.50 for me. I'd rather pay $1.50 to ensure that my plays have a mathematical sense behind them than to go in and raw dog this, because that does not seem fun, right? It seems fun at the time, but it might get itchy later. So I want to stick away from that kind of mentality. And if I'm going to do anything where I'm going to put money and cheese behind this, I want to make sure that's protected my cheese from the rats, if that makes sense. So this is my protection. This is my rat cage to prevent cheese from being stolen from me, right? Or taken from me if I can help it, right? So here we go. Obviously, we have the order placed for 182.46. I'm happy. I like that. Let's move on to the next one, and I don't want to take too much time here, but let's look at the last one, which is Nike. Nike is going to be the retail one. Obviously, everybody knows Nike. Biggest competitors, Michael Jordan. They have Serena Williams. They have all the big athletes out there. Kevin Durant. They have Steph Curry. All the big guys are there. LeBron. So in this sense, Nike's not going anywhere, right? If anything, it's just more prone to, I would say, more news, if that sense, or more emotions, I guess you could say, obviously. A lot of things happening right now in the world, but for the most part, Nike stock been sitting between 81 and 53 range, which is, it's not a decent range. I mean, we're kind of in that first third of the bottom, so it's slowly going up, obviously. Let's see if it's a good time to buy. I have a couple Nike buy orders here that I placed last week. Let's see what we can decipher from them. I have a 54 and a 55.90 play. So we're going to go over here for the last one, and we're going to check Nike, and we're going to check out to see if there's any plays. Now, 1 day, there's nothing on there. 4 hours, we're going to check to see. Obviously, I want to start with the biggest time frame, but here we go. We have a couple orders at 57.37. We have some at 55.90, and we have some at 54.05. Now, 54.05 is going to be this one, the $54, and then the 55.90 is going to come at this guy right here. So looks like for me, I have these two orders in play. One, or the bottom order and the middle one, which would be this guy right here and this guy right here. Now, this isn't a bad place to buy, but when I see things out in like 3 different levels, typically what this tells me is, yes, we could hit the first level and definitely bounce back up. That could be a possibility, but more likely than not, in my experience, I've seen that these usually break the first glass window. It'll usually reject the first one and go to the second one. Even if it rejects the second one, if it hits this third range, then it's a higher probability that this action is going to take off, just because of the volatility and the push down that it takes to bring this down here. So obviously, the deeper we go, the bigger the bounce. And you can see too, kind of in the profits themselves as well, the profits are higher the deeper you go. If you hit the first line, you're looking at 4.1%. Second line, 5.9%. And then the third line is a 7.4%. So when we're playing with these kind of ranges, I like to go heavier at the bottom ones because it's more worth my while, right? This is you make money when you buy, not when you sell. Right now, we're trying to buy at the most optimal price. So in that case, I have an order to buy at 55.90. I have 1, and then at 54, which is the middle one, I have 3. So what I'm doing here is essentially I'm DCAing, or dollar cost averaging, into the position itself. What I'm saying is I want to buy 3 shares here, right at 54. This is a really nice area to purchase. I'm sorry, at 54 here. I want to really purchase at 54 because I feel like at that price, it's well worth it. When you go to the bottom one, I want to load up as much of the cheese in there. So I'm going to purchase out of 4 shares that I'm currently buying, 75% of the 4 shares, right, which is 3 of them, I'm going to buy in this range. The other one that I'm going to purchase is going to be in this middle one, right? So what that's going to do is going to give me a dollar cost average about 54. Yeah, it's going to be about 54, 55. I don't know. It'll give me way closer to $54. So it'd be 54, 25 cents would be the average, which is a much better, I'd rather have that, right? It's a way better entry. And it's not perfect, but at the same time, that's the whole point of dollar cost averaging is you're trying to get the best price and you're buying down just in case the price gets lower, right? So yeah. It could obviously not hit 54 and just hit 55.90. It could grace it and then shoot back up to the allotted time, which would be 59.20. But like always, we always want to play this very safe, and we want to play all scenarios. If it goes up, what do we do? If it goes down, what do we do? We have our plan now. So these are the prices that we're buying at. I like this. I'm not going to move it. Personally, I like what this portfolio is right now. So in just a conclusion overview, we have roughly about 1K in here. We have no current buys besides the INTC. So the Intel, we have 5 shares of that, which already have a sell order. We're just waiting to see if it hits $20.58. We're waiting for that $25 range to sell. Make a quick little 22% gain. I'm happy with that, right? Not much motion, but this isn't like we're not watching something crazy like F1 here, right? This is just nice and steady. We're doing the NASCAR thing. They're going right, they're going right, they're going right. It just keeps doing the same thing over and over and over. So nothing too crazy. We're not in Monaco, but at the same time, we can make some nice gains in this area. So as always, this is kind of wraps up kind of the tap trade overview of how to use Thor, how to utilize this tool into the stock side of things to bring it into Web 2. This is a nice little thing that I like to use. Obviously, there's more tickers that you can use. A lot AMC, we have MO, VOO, PFV. All of these are pluggable, and you can put these into Thor themselves. You're able to ask for whatever you want. Obviously, I trade a certain things, but you don't have to trade the same things. If you want to try something different, try it out. Play with Thor. I mean, it's only a couple bucks here, and it'll get you in the motion of kind of seeing maybe something that you might have missed. We are human, but at the end of the day, we all make mistakes. So in this case, I want to make sure that we want to avoid those mistakes, right? If we don't have to. So that's what the math is for, and that's why humans create something called Thor. That way we can all benefit from it, and we can now look at it. So, a couple bucks here, $4 or $5 is a small price to pay when it comes to insurance itself to make sure that your play is okay. I have in this play right here for INTC, I have wrapped up about $102 of the market value right now. So this is how much I have. I want to make sure my $102 is safe. So I want to pay the $1.50 in my case. It'd be $4 for non-holders. But I want to make sure that at least this is backed up and this is good to go, because I don't like losing money. Like I said, I don't like losing in general, not just about the money, but I don't like losing. So neither should you. So let's create a culture of winners here. And we try not to complicate it too much, but it's very straightforward. Any other questions, please tap into the Discord, tap into the Telegram as well. Tap Telegram, Cyberfrog's Discord. Founders Andy, Dev Sile, please, if you guys have any questions, the frog community is out here. There's a whole bunch of frogs that are into a whole bunch of different things. Meme coin guys, we have regular traders, stock traders, we have crypto traders, degen traders. It's definitely a nice mixing pot of different types of traders, but it's beautiful because nobody has ego, so everybody's there to learn. That's kind of the ethos and kind of the mentality of the frogs. Frogs are family, and so in that sense, we all treat each other like students, but nobody asks any stupid questions, right? Stupid questions are not, the only stupid question is a question that's not asked, right? And that's how we view things, right? If you're genuinely curious and want to learn, there's a space at the table for you. But in the meantime, you gotta, we can bring you to the watering pond, but you gotta drink yourself. You gotta put in the work, learn Thor, apply Thor, and it will 100% pay off. And I'm just a living example, right? I'm just a guy who didn't use Thor 4 years ago, and now here I am, showing you my experience in it. So there's a reason why we're all here. They grab people from around the world, and it's a beautiful product, and we all love it. So yeah, it works, and that's just plain and simple. It's nothing more than math. It's nothing magical. It's just math. So as always, we'll do another review next week. Today's June 9th. So we're going to go ahead and just push this forward for a week from now to next Monday. I will be doing a live session in the Discord themselves if you guys have more questions about stonks. And then we also do just general overview of the where the markets are at, as well as trench trading as well. So yeah, just keep your ears perked. Make sure to check the Twitter as well for any updates and stuff like that. But if you see a frog or you see a tap trader out there, or you in the Telegram, please reach out. Questions are always welcome. And frogs are out here doing fun stuff. This is all powered by Tap Trading. And yeah, guys, have a good night, and peace. See you next week.